Bienvenue chez Schiaparelli.
It's Couture, honey. Look at the Stag.
Don't look at me.
Schiaparelli, the jaw-breaking collection. Only 30 looks, and what looks?
C'est magnifique.
The obsessive Daniel Roseberry continues to reinvent Schiaparelli and pushes the limits.
How does it feel to wear your real clothes after that?
Boring.
All the feathers in the collection are made of silk, except for one dress that we'll see later.
I'm speechless.
Demi Moore is in Paris. Tiana Taylor wears the stolen crown of the Louvre.
I won't say because I don't want the cops come looking for me.
Sophie Marceau, actor Aaron Paul. Bonjour Alex Consani.
Bonjour.
Bonjour Angelina Kendall. Bonjour le Lutani. We're backstage. We're at the final fittings when the Grand Couturier and the ateliers clap and applaud the models. Schiaparelli and the Beast. Hello, I'm Loïc Prigent. Subscribe to the channel to see everything about fashion and Schiaparelli spectacles. Leave a comment, hit the notification bell and send this to a glamorous friend. La vidéo est en anglais, mais les sous-titres sont disponibles. We're in the Petit Palais in Paris, next to the Champs-Élysées, for the Spring-Summer 2026 Schiaparelli Haute Couture collection by Daniel Roseberry.
Go on the lineup, okay? The show starting in 20 minutes, so you need to move on.
Sorry.
Ça va?
Ça va?
Welcome to Schiaparelli. I'm a huge fan of Daniel Roseberry. I'm just excited to see what he's come up with. It feels good to see a legend.
Look 1, Caroline Volter opens the show. The starting point of the collection is Daniel Roseberry visiting the Sixtine Chapel in the Vatican in Rome. This is his conclave.
I know it sounds cliche, but the whole thing started at the Sistine Chapel. Because I was looking at the ceiling, which felt completely full of play. And then the walls, which were painted 50 years earlier, were like no fun at all. It was like very static, very boring, very dogma. Then when you look up, you have this like freedom. And that's sort of like, we wanted the collection to start with that sense of control and then blow it open.
Daniel Roseberry thinks of the ecstasy of creation, the highs that Michelangelo felt when painting that Sixtine ceiling. Passage numéro 2, Stella Annan's top is embroidered with flowers of lace. Lace that has been cut and replaced on pilotis, the pilotis being silver needles. A metaphor of the fragility of couture. It's a never-seen-before fabric made of the most traditional fabric, lace. Her skirt is exploding, typically haute couture. 3. Anne-Marie Adéry-Digbe. The lace was cut by hand and replaced on tulle. Note the neon sfumato effect around the shoulder so your eyes don't acclimate too quick. Sfumato meaning blurry. We got to witness the fittings at Schiaparelli HQ on Place Vendôme. Shh.
It's gorgeous. We took the lace here as it was and then cut it into pieces, and then these are all put on these tiny little pins so that it creates this bas-relief three-dimensional effect. Underneath here at the front you have layers of tulle and organza, creating this sort of like cloud sfumato effect.
How does it feel to wear your real clothes after that?
Boring.
Look 4, Hikong. It's like Daniel Roseberry decided to do animal prints, but his animal print is now lace. The dots of a leopard becoming lace. Dentelle léopard. Note the orange sfumato of tulle. The basque of the Elsa jacket is suspended, frozen in eleganza. Look 5, Jackie Hooper walks in another veste d'Elsa, an Elsa Schiaparelli jacket with its shoulder padding in white crin and 2 long sleeves for a regal effect. I spent my days not touching anything. Note the lagoon sfumato, sfumato being the Italian Renaissance technique of blurring the contours to achieve more realism and mystery. Basques are frozen again, even more dramatically. Des basques en forme de carrosserie de bolide. Et qui conduit le bolide? Daniel Roseberry.
At the beginning of the season, the thing I said to the team was, let's not focus so much on what it looks like, let's focus on how we feel when we're making it. It became much more process-oriented, much more technique-driven, less like working backwards from the end result. That's been a lot of fun.
Look 6, Ana Beatriz Cortez, and a celestial cloud of tulle follows her. The cloud is embroidered with black mimosa. The earrings are directly inspired by the house archive. Her bustier dress reproduces with stitch and patience the pattern of a crocodile skin. Look 7, the divine Bibi Breslin. For the woman who doesn't just enter a room, she claims it. Décolleté, hands on the hips, rabbit ears bustier. This is satin organza double face for shine and structure. The skirt is cut in spiral and smoked by hand. It's actually 3 crocodile tails. Look 8, Daniel Rosberry looking at nature, the real surrealism of nature, how nature, like fashion, will always surprise us, surpass us, with its mix of archetypes and surprises. Here, a play on butterfly wings. Kayako Iguchi in a mind-blowing number, 4,000 hours of embroidery, sfumato dégradé skirt and gloves. Jewelry is inspired by the most famous jewels right now, which happen to be stolen.
I was walking home, and it was right when the jewels were stolen from the Louvre. And we recreated them.
No.
But we added little animalic texture so that it felt like us.
What is the crown you're wearing right now?
It's something that Schiaparelli put me in. I won't say because I don't want the cops come looking for me.
Look 9, a silhouette with a little sting for the Dutch Nicky Rux. The jacket you'll need a new wardrobe for. This is crin and chantilly lace. Look 10, Mila Van Eaten, 2 Scorpios, les Sœurs Scorpion. Who knows how to wear this? As they were the mannequin cabin of the collection, everything was built on them. Exoskeleton Couture, she comes with a bite. A see-through bustier with its pieces of lace suspended on needles pilotis. Skirt is in wool, une queue de scorpion comme un quart de lune qui la poursuit. A scorpion's tail like a crescent moon pursuing her.
What do you want us to feel when we meet this woman?
My hope is that you would remember what it was like when you were like 10. I'm always like, what would you remember seeing if you were a kid? You know, I think of John Williams and Spielberg and like all my heroes. Like it's sort of like things that kids would love.
It's you looking at too much movies when you were a kid?
You know, I didn't see that many movies, but I watched the same movies over and over again. Even today, like I'll watch certain movies like a dozen times a year.
Which one?
Like
is
Interstellar, Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park, blockbusters.
movies.
Yeah.
Look 11, Gravity, I don't know her. Jeanne Cadieux in a crinoline tranchée, in a slashed crinoline.
Elle est compliquée à enfiler ou pas?
Ça va, non? Ça a pris un quart d'heure, c'est
À
tout?
combien?
Ça va, 3 personnes. Donc 6 mains.
A geology of ivory tulle tutu that met the scissor hands of Daniel Rosberry. 4,000 hours of work for the corset bustier alone. More than 25,000 silk feathers, each created and sewn by hand. Note the bird shoes.
Oh no way.
Non mais quand même. On en parle des chaussures?
Attends, 2 secondes.
So these are photorealistic replicas. It's foam and resin and leather that's hand painted. So these were kind of like the 2 benchmarks that informed the rest of the collection.
A few years ago, Daniel Rosberry and Schiaparelli stole 80% of the Haute Couture Week media coverage with his animals on dresses. That coverage was controversial, but we all know by now there's no such thing as bad buzz, there's only buzz. And don't panic, those are not real animals. Animal Replicas is the atelier where this was crafted to Daniel Rosberry's wishes. Look 12, somewhere between the Edgar Degas dancers and the fantastic engravings of Gustave Doré. The bustier on Maggie Maurer is molded with a veil of lace. It holds in its back a bird's beak. Beak in the back, the beauty and the beak. The eye of a bird is hidden in a tulle tutu, an eye made of a stone and silk feathers. Look 13, Angelina Kendall stuns with her 6 stories of crystal fringes, the most satisfying effect to marvel at.
Look at this tassels.
Another day at work.
Guys, I think this might be my favorite look I've ever had at Schiaparelli.
Look Look 14, Rosalike Fuchs. A new species is born, fashion evolution, fashion Darwin. This is Isabella Blowfish, a wordplay on Isabella Blow, the British fashion editor and muse of Alexander McQueen, who famously cleaned her desk every night with a mix of Perrier water and Chanel No. 5.
She's based on the tailleur of that Isabella Blow was wearing, but we did hundreds of layers of illusion tulle stacked in a sfumato effect. It looks like a special effect, but it's actually just like layers of illusion tulle.
The spikes on her dress are made of organza, all over caviar of crystals on her skirt and jacket for shine and texture. Look 15, Canlan Wang. This is stretched jersey with an eccentric turbo construction of black tulle covered with pearls, tubes of glass and enamel. Trousers are velvet, reworked in a stunning dégradé effect. Look 16, Anna Sofia Negruzza. Art Deco Rococo. This molded black velvet bustier dress with extra orange shoulders, over-the-top hips, suddenly sparkles with an irrational cascade of champagne bubbles. It's a dozen fringes of crystals, each longer than the other one. Look 17, Karolina Spakowski doesn't just walk, she charges. An armor.
I want this in a subway. When someone looks at me, I'm like, don't look at me.
The Schiaparelli woman is always on attack mode, I feel like. But this season feels particularly both aggressive and playful, in a way.
Is it haute couture? Yes, honey, look at the stag. A reptilian embroidery. The horns are resin. Note the weird harmony of the lagoon hips, creating surprise on the surprising, haute surprise.
So it's tulle and then a bullion lace base embroidery. That's layer 1. Then layer 2 is the smoked crystal grid. And then layer 3 is the mother of pearl in white and black as a snake skin. And then the 4th is these viper fangs that are molded and painted by hand.
Look 18, Felice Nova Nordhoff. Where to start? By the fan-like shape on top of the bustier, or by the 4 fringes of cream and black tears? The bustier is covered with a treillis made of copper-colored metal wires with a lace pattern, an interlacing of smoky crystal and real white seashells. Look 19, Achol cuir and the treillage, the treillis, is back. Listen to this dress. It's the sound of 700 real seashells, hand-embroidered among crystals and satin lace.
Oh my god, I feel so gorgeous. I don't know how to express myself, but this is so gorgeous. I love.
The color scheme goes from dark chocolate to iridescent sky. Note the 4,000 hours of embroidery on this number. Also note the bird stilettos. Look 20, Ida Heiner. Nature is stranger than fiction. Nature is better than fiction. Uncontrollable nature. We all bow down to nature. Nature is extra. This is the message of the collection. Close to her skin, a smooth aerodynamic jersey bustier with no embroidery, but an extra green sfumato effect. The lace skirt has a veil with 2 fireworks of mimosa flowers, pearls and silk feathers. Look 21, Yar Aguerre. Extra pink jersey sfumato. Treillis of black mother of pearl, neon orange tulle basque. In French, this is giving jupe en tulle et dentelle chantilly noire rehaussée d'une superposition de voilettes noires brodées de plumes de soie.
How long to put it on?
5 minutes. Joking.
Very dry.
What do you think will be the face of people when they see you on the runway?
Flabbergasted. Because they better be.
Look 22, Prédatrice, Sasha Pivovarova walking her first Schiaparelli show. Embroidery of iridescent blue peacock feathers. She left Paris right after this. Makeup is by Pat McGrath. The actress Leila Bekti is also here for the first time.
C'est assez impressionnant. C'était mon premier défilé Schiaparelli. C'est un artiste. C'était très cinématographique, ça m'a beaucoup permis.
Il devrait faire des films, de l'opéra, du théâtre. Ce serait génial qu'il vienne un peu nous aider.
Look 23, Emmeline Valade wears trousers as haute couture is for all occasions. This is velvet with a sfumato effect that will require highly qualified seamstresses. And remember, the Schiaparelli atelier sits on the Place Vendôme in front of the Colonne Vendôme, right next to the Hôtel Ritz, meaning the sandwiches in the area are only caviar. Her necklace is inspired by the House of Schiap archive, 3 bird heads surrounded by crystals. Look 24, Sandra Murray wears a super distinctive jacket. It's the trou de serrure classic Schiaparelli jacket, but worn backward, devant derrière. The fabric is double faille, and the spikes are organza. 25, Louisa Perrotet, a bustier dress with a metallic structure for the décolleté. Emerging from the back of the dress is this wing, la greffe du griffon. Aggression or seduction? Daniel Roseberry leaves the interpretation to us. Look 26, actually seduction. Victoria Fowell stuns. You're looking at more than 8,000 hours of work. In all my years in haute couture, I rarely saw garments that required more than 1,000, 2,000 hours of embroidery. 8,000 is a mind-blowing number. It's staggering. 65,000 silk feathers, soie sauvage, with a halo of 27 nuances of blues. This is 2 stories of all-over embroidered tulle and crin. Look 27, more seduction with Alex Consani. Black tulle and silk feathers inspired by colors of nature. If you look at the profile, note the bustier that has the shape of a flying bird. Look 28, Eva Commuves. Harmonious and ultra-expressive tutu/crinoline, a peacock in absent colors. All the feathers in the collection are silk, except for this one. Look 29, lured into luxury by Lulu. Lulu Tenny paralyzes us with her black cotton and organza jacket with an experimental basque. If you ever need a neck brace, use this.
Bam. Isn't it so cool?
The wing color is made of pistachio, coral, and shocking pink. Shocking pink is a pink owned by Elsa Schiaparelli. The technical mastery required to achieve this singular balance. Look 30, our Audiang, the finale. Our Audiang closes the show. La mariée est un faucon falconry wedding ensemble. The color becomes a wing. Elsa Motra Schiaparelli. You can count 4 bird beaks. Silver embroideries. The room has stopped breathing since a while now. This, in fashion, is a Monday morning of Couture Week, and it's a tough job for the house who will have to do a fashion show right after this kind of showmanship.
What were your thoughts during the collection?
I'm speechless. Magical. Magical.
Groundbreaking. My mouth is on the floor. I'm just excited to squeeze my ass in it.
Such a genius, and I'm not worthy. That's all I gotta say.
Voilà, this was my report for Schiaparelli Haute Couture by Daniel Roseberry, Spring-Summer 2026, with some of the most expensive dresses ever made. Subscribe for your front row seat to the fashion world. Write Haute Couture or look at the Stag in comments if you got till the end. Cheers!